do you want to have kids?
That's the biggest question I've been asking myself, and ever since we got married, I've been constantly debating with myself on whether I want to have kids. Am I just blaming the environment? Honestly, I don't know the answer. Am I going to regret this if I don't have any kids?
I had to go through the motions and emotions of my life, and I think I had to do my career and do the marriage and get to the mental place of it's time.
I don't want to be that mom that misses my child's first steps because I'm away. I want to wait until I can say, I can afford the time off. It's fine.
So when would that be?
That's the crazy thing. I don't know.
And now, birth gaps are coming to America. By 2020, the exact same trend saw 39 states with more 50-year-olds than newborns, with New England leading the way with a 29% birth gap. America is starting to notice.
Fewer babies born in America last year than at any time since Ronald Reagan. That is what's not. The birth rate is way, way down.
It is. Has it been a surprise to you that low fertility is becoming an issue in the US?
It took a while for us to notice. It took us a little while to catch on, but now that we have, I think people do find it worrying, and justifiably so. There's a lot of economic and public policy reasons that that's going to be a big problem for the US going forward.
You've got more and more older people retiring, being supported by
Fewer and fewer
active people working, who are in turn having ever fewer babies.
Right.
It's an impossible situation.
Right.
The good news for America is that because of immigration, our birth rates stayed high long after everyone else's had fallen, which means that we get a preview in a way that almost no other industrialized country does, which means we can look at those other countries and say, I don't want that. What do we do?
The disturbing trend is that the fertility rate falling below the replacement level. In other words, the workforce becomes too small to support the growing retirees segment. It's a very troubling trend. As you've said before, we've seen it in Japan, Italy, and elsewhere.
Who would have thought we'd open the show with the birth rate falling to the 32-year low?
Having started in Europe and Japan at the exact same time, this trend has spread relentlessly across the entire industrialized world and beyond. Yet the only connection I could find was a common anomaly. When we say replacement rate is when the average woman is having 2 children, of course, not all women are having 2 children. Some will be having 1, some having 3 and 4, and some, for differing reasons, having none. In very simple terms, if we exclude those having more than 4 children, to get an average of 2 children per woman, those having 3 and 4 should be in balance with those having either 1 child or none. To get an overall birth rate of less than 2, it's a mathematical necessity that those having more than 2 are outnumbered by those having none or 1. The lower birth rates go, the proportion of people having no children or 1 child must get greater and greater. The conundrum was that 1-child families were proving hard to find across all of these countries.
I have a younger brother.
I have an older brother, an older sister, and a younger sister.
I have sisters and brothers. 私が2人姉妹で。
今兄弟は4人ですね。
I have one sister.
1人兄がいます。
I have a sister and brother.
I have 4 siblings, 2 sisters and 2 brothers.
And when I met those a little older, I got the same response.
You have 2 daughters, is that correct?
Yes, 31 and 33.
Well, I have 3 kids myself.
For myself, I have 2 children, okay, the daughter and the son.
My assumption had been that countries with low fertility rates would have many families with only 1 child, and that assumption was held by other people too.
The reason Japan's population is declining, of course, is people are choosing to have smaller families.
But why could I not find these smaller families with only 1 child? Something wasn't right.
So a big reason why we're seeing more and more infertility these days is because of delayed childbearing. As women's eggs get older, it just gets harder to get pregnant. Imagine that these are eggs, okay? And this is a 20-year-old. So when a 20-year-old comes in and we do an ultrasound and we're able to see these 20 follicles, I tell them this is great news. You're 20. You have all these 20 eggs and this is for this month. And next month you're going to get another 20 eggs. Except that when a woman is 20, not all her eggs are good. For every 5 eggs that she has, as young as she is, for every 5 eggs that she has, maybe 3 of them are good. Those are the orange ones. And even a 20-year-old, as healthy and as young as a 20-year-old is, 2 of those eggs out of 5 might not be good. This is a 20-year-old. This is a 45-year-old. You see how things have changed between 20 and 45. Now, 45-year-olds still have good eggs, but these are hard to find. It's how nature does its job.
Even though there are some amazing technologies today like egg freezing or embryo freezing to help women delay this childbearing time in their life, I don't think that either the media or what you hear from other people always really explains the depths of how much struggle there really could be.
Generally, this treatment required several cycles, several trials, and as a doctor, it's hard to describe how I'm feeling just seeing those patients who have to give up that treatment after having a hard time mentally, physically. Actually, fertility treatment is very hard.
So giving up must be horrendous for men and women.
Yes.
When a celebrity conceives late in life, reproductive life, we probably know it's an egg donor, or it's possible that she froze embryos a long time ago. It's definitely a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, a miseducation of the public.
I literally wake up every single morning. I'm gonna get emotional and I bless my children because I just feel very, very fortunate that I was able to have them.
I'm someone who married at 37 and had always thought I would have kids, and then it turned out I wasn't going to. And I think it can be a tremendous source of unhappiness.
For me, it wasn't a decision. I don't remember a time when I said, okay, I'm not going to have a family.
It would have helped if I'd known it was grief, or if the doctors and therapists I consulted about my life-wrecking distress had known, but they didn't. Grief is a language that this lost tribe speaks fluently.
Yo pensaba que tenía tiempo, que mi década entre los 30 y los 40 iban a ser suficientes como para que yo pudiera desarrollar mi actividad profesional y después tenía tiempo para ser madre. Y bueno, hice mal los cálculos, postergué porque creí que tenía tiempo.
Did you want to have children?
Sim. Gostaria de ter tido filho há 5 anos atrás. Gostaria. Mas não aconteceu. Mas gostaria sim. Gostaria de ter tido antes. De poder ter tido filho antes.
20代の頃にもっとデートをしてもっといい人を見つけてもっと子供を作るように努力すればよかったと思ってます。
I think if you caught me at the right day in my 20s when I was very in love or excited about a partner, I would say yes. But if you were to pry into that, I might say, oh no, that seems crazy to have a kid in my 20s.
Llegó un momento en mi vida que a lo mejor sí quise de verdad intentarlo nuevamente, pero era muy tarde, too late.